Good morning, everyone. It's a sad and interesting time we're in. We have COVID-19 literally destroying segments of our country. But COVID-19 has caused me to take a serious look at Alzeimers and at dementia. Two diseases that have been around for as long as I can remember. Here's the question. Why has Big Pharma not been able to come up with a medication, a treatment that will halt dementia or Alzheimer's? I have my own opinion on this matter. I think it comes down to dollars and cents. I believe the appropriate treatment is already present. I believe Big Pharma would rather see people die and possibly dilute the tremendous profits that they make. But I also believe, and maybe I'm just one of those individuals who's always an eternal optimist. For me, the glass is always half full. It's never half empty. So I always believe that everything is possible. Anything is possible. If you noticed, most of the folks at the nursing homes and assisted living facilities, including my mom, who died recently, suffer primarily from either Alzheimer's or dementia. A moneymaker for these assisted living facilities and these nursing homes where we've lost thousands of our population. The one good thing about COVID-19, as I see it, is that it has given us, not just the United States, but the world at large, the opportunity, because we have the time, to research the history of dementia, to look at the studies that have been performed, dissect them, and see why there has been no cure. Look at how much money the government has done as far as research for these diseases are concerned. Look at how much money Big Pharma has spent trying to come up with a cure or a treatment that may slow down the progression of these types of diseases. It's very important for us to realize that possibly 1 in 50 of every one of us will end up either with dementia or Alzheimer's. That's a huge number. That's a number that causes me pause, great pause. Because in 2020, with all the technology, with everything that we have, in my opinion, we still have not made any tremendous strides in solving the riddle behind dementia or Alzheimer's. Do you realize that if the people who have dementia or Alzheimer's, if their short-term memory was as good as their long-term memory, they would have no problem? Or if they lost their long-term memory and maintained their short-term memory, they could still be happy, functional members of our society. But that is not the case. So I wonder if our scientists, our doctors, were all heroes today. I'm thankful, even though my mom passed away, I'm thankful for the thousands of lives that they have managed to save. I'm thankful for all the lives that they're going to save. But I would be even more thankful if they could come up with a solution as to why so many, or cause as to why so many of our people worldwide end up having Alzheimer's. Some, unfortunately, at a very early age. Folks, I cannot stress enough the significance of us taking this time when we're locked in, locked down, locked out, and we are at home, to take a close look through the internet or whatever technological resources you have, to see if you can find any studies that came close, any studies that showed potential, and if it did, why wasn't it taken further? That's my first topic. My second topic is, it is possible that after COVID-19 has subsided, we could have potentially a lot of separations, a lot of divorces, and during the process, a lot of dysfunctional families. Why? Simply because in many cases, the wives, the husband, and the children are not locked in to their home for any extended period of time. So they've not spent an awful lot of time together. And the realization, especially amongst the spouses, that they might have outgrown each other, that they might now have nothing in common, is a very scary proposition. But remember, you do have things in common. The things that brought you together originally, it's the same person. They might have changed slightly, but be patient. Look for the traits that you admired so early in your relationship. They're there. In some cases, they might be deeply buried because of time, frustration, age, cheating, and the multiplicity of issues. But you need each other. So instead of spending this time being unhappy and frustrated, learn each other again. Love each other again. Learn to exist with each other again. Learn to become not just roommates, but husbands and wives, lovers, friends with passion. There was a time when you couldn't wait to see your spouse. A lot of times now you don't want to see your spouse. What caused you to want to see your spouse way back when? She still has it, or he still has it. Sometimes you just have to brush off the surface. Don't let this terrible, terrible disease also ruin your relationship. Because if she was good enough or he was good enough to get together with in the first place, and it's been a while since you've been together, then I'll tell you this, they're still good enough to be with. And as long as you're with them, you should explore things that you've not explored before. Maybe you used to give them a massage every night that led to interesting things. Maybe it won't be every night, but maybe you can go back once a week. Maybe you can have a private party with just you and your spouse. Maybe you can have a family night where it's you, your spouse, and your children doing things together. Maybe you can spend days in your yard if you're lucky to have one, playing games with each other. Life is a beautiful thing. But too often, we don't recognize the value of it until it's too late. The one thing I can say about the passing of my mom from COVID-19, or so they say, is that I spent every moment that I could with her. And that I gave her all the love in the world that I could. Even after she developed dementia, we found a way to communicate. She loved to dance. So we would dance up a storm. We would just ballroom dance, reggae dance, you name it, we would just do it. Why? Because it made her happy. So find that thing in your spouse. Find that thing in your son. Find that thing in your daughter that makes them happy. And don't look at the negative. Look at the positive. And enjoy it with them. Participate in it with them. Even if you're living in one room, not one bedroom, one room, there's space enough for you guys to have fun. I'm just asking you guys, make love, not war. We're frustrated enough as it is, but we have no fear. Americans, we have no fear. We see a pox to fear, and we move on. So while we say that, let's realize the significance and the importance of the information, like stay inside, unless you have to go, stay home, unless you have to go out. Wear a mask. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. And we will live to see the passing of COVID-19. In the future, I will go back to covering much more substantive issues, but I do believe Alzeimer's and dementia are two things that we should take a look at seriously. But until then, God bless, and I will see you soon.